Welcome, chamber music fans. Michelle Schumann here with the Austin Chamber Music Festival. I'm very, very happy to have Badi Assad, and I did my homework, and I think I'm pronouncing your name right. Is that correct? Badi Assad.
Perfect.
Thank you. I practiced so that I would do it right. Anyway, very happy to be here with you, and we're so excited to have you come back to Austin on Saturday, July 20th. I know Austin is really thrilled. We have a wonderful Brazilian community here, and people just love the music so much. So we're excited about that. And thank you so much for meeting with me here to have a talk.
Yeah, this actually is my first Skype interview ever.
Good. Well, Gaynell, your manager, told me that you are the Skype queen. So you're used to doing Skype.
Yes, I do. But I mean, taking in Skype for an interview is the first time, so it's fun.
It is fun. Well, and we do interviews for all the artists who come during the festival, and it's just so great for our audiences to be able to see the artists ahead of time. They get a little bit closer to them, and that way, when you come into town, we're like all old friends. So it's a lot of fun.
So it's seeing you in t-shirt, and here is cold. So Brazil is cold. It's winter time here.
Well, it's very hot in Texas. I think today it's 107 degrees, which is probably about 45 or something Celsius. So it's hot. It's definitely hot, and it'll be very hot when you get here too.
Yeah, I want.
So tell me, you grew up in a very musical family with your brothers Serge and Odair. Was it kind of destined that you would become a guitarist?
I believe so. I couldn't escape. I think when I was small, when I was 8 years old, I tried to start to play piano. Mm-hmm. Because that was a dream that belonged to my mom. Mm-hmm. She'd love to have been a pianist. But anyway, my career as a piano player, I say, started when I was 8 and ended when I was 8.5. And then I didn't think about doing music when I was a child. If you would ask, I would say I want to be a dancer, a ballerina. Mm-hmm. But when I was 14 years old, we moved far from my brothers, back to this small town where I was born in the countryside of São Paulo. Mm-hmm. And there's when my father made me the invitation if I would like to play with him, because he used to play mandolin, which is a solo instrument and needs an instrument to do the chords. Yeah. And I said yes. And when I saw I was doing the same as my brothers, I had everything was there, the DNA was there.
Well, and it's interesting that you wanted to be a dancer, because later on, as you were developing your career, not only were you a guitarist, but you had that solo show where you were a guitarist and you danced and you sang and you did all sorts of things. So you've really combined lots of these art forms.
I do. Actually, when I perform, it's not that I dance, but I let my body free to follow the music. Mm-hmm. And before, when I started to play guitar, I kind of got stuck in the chair with the guitar on the left leg, very traditional classical guitar player, but yes. I was like 18, 19 years old. And I started to add the voice, and I started to make researches on the guitar sounds, and then with my voice, and then I started doing everything at the same time. And in one point of my life, I saw a video of Tori Amos. Mm-hmm. And that was a moment that I said, hey, I have the body. I don't need to be sitting down. I don't need to be steady. And so she has a very important role in my performance, because after seeing her, I let my body be. Uh-huh. And everything that I have done in in the dance world, because I always made some kind of dance class since I was a child, because I used to love it. I let the body fill it in. So the body is very present when I perform.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's so wonderful too, because with music, of course, it's such an oral art form, and we love to hear the music. But it's so important, I think, for performers to know that when you're on stage, it's about how it looks as well. And there's something so wonderful to be able to see a performer who uses all the facilities, not only the playing, but the singing and the feeling of the music, and for us to be able to see that.
And I can tell you that and a lot of the times I perform bare feet,
Mm-hmm.
and this is also because I feel the connection.
Mm-hmm.
It totally changed my persona when I have shoes and when I don't have shoes.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like when I am without shoes, I am more neutral. Mm-hmm. So I can be as sensual as I want to be. I can be as angry as I want to be. And so the bare feet gives me this extra connection with myself. And I feel that I sing in tune with the toes with my toes.
That makes sense, because when we wear shoes, it kind of crunches up our toes in a way, so that kind of gives us a much better sense of that.
I don't know how those singers can do it, you know? How can they sing in those high heels? I can't.
Well, I think I know young singers, their teachers are always telling them to not wear the high heels and to wear the flat shoes so that they can get used to that. But maybe as these major singers, as they learn more about their body, they learn how to hold themselves in a way so that they can. But yeah, I can't imagine that either. Well, so I will look forward to you being barefoot in Austin. That will be great.
Yeah, I just don't go barefoot if it's like outdoors and I am afraid of the floor of the stage that will be hurting, or if it's too cold.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I am there.
Yeah, I think this will be a good stage for you to be barefoot. So we'll just plan on it. And your style is so wonderful because it is so very eclectic, and it mixes together so many different styles: pop and rock and jazz and world music, Brazilian music. How did you kind of start to put together these different styles, and how that come together? And I should also say classical guitar plays an important part in your style as well.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of mash all these different styles together?
Yeah, this was never planned. Mm-hmm. It's just the way I am. Mm-hmm. I am a multitask person. You know, I can naturally be doing multiple tasks at the same time. Mm-hmm. Since ever. So when I started as a musician, I started as a classical guitar player. Then, as I told you, I discovered I had a voice, and I was never satisfied with just knowing that I play the guitar. This guitar is also a percussion instrument. Mm-hmm. So I started beating the guitar and exploring it and using other objects to change its sounds. And then I did the same with my voice. And regarding what I would listen to in my life, I have listened to music from all over, and there is not a thing that I prefer this than that. Mm-hmm. Music is or pleases you or doesn't. Okay. So my passion for music belongs to all kinds of genres, you know. So it's a reflection of myself. I don't know if I have to choose one kind of music, one type of music to do. Mm-hmm. I probably would feel myself a prisoner.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I love about presenting you at our festival, because that's one of the things that I try to come across too. Even though it's a chamber music festival, we oftentimes have much many different kinds of music as well, because I want to show audiences that chamber music is really just the gathering of several people to play music together, and it can be so many different kinds of things. It can be classical music, but it can also be more popular music as well. And I kind of love you too, because you can play chamber music by yourself because you do the percussion and you do the singing and you do the playing, which is really wonderful too. And I love what you were just saying, that you've always been a multitasker, because I have to tell you, I just watched your video, the Pega non Coco video. And everyone needs to watch this video. You can see it on her website. But basically, it's having fun with the idea that you do all these different things, that you're a performer and that you tour and that you keep up with your emails and that you keep up with your daughter and your family and you cook and everything. So tell me, how do you do all those things? And you have a 6-year-old daughter, so it's still a relatively new thing to be a mom and to do all those things. So how do you manage all that?
Well, when Sophia is my daughter, so when she was born, I really took the time off. So my multitask was like regarding her. So, as you see, she's all over the video. But it's a matter of organization. You have to keep. I have like always list of things to do with what is more important that has to be done. And then the key for everything, I think, is organization, to get yourself organized. So I have the week in front of me, my agenda, and I know what has to be done in that week and all these multiple things. And I go and I finish one thing and I start another one. And also there is something that is related to the heart. What do I want to do now? And when you follow that intuition, you kind of finish stuff quicker. Then you are like stubborn with something that you don't want to do, but you have to. But when that happens, I put aside and I do something else that I want to do. And then I go back there. In that sense, I can keep myself organized and I find time to do everything. And with my daughter, now she's at school, so I take the time when she's there. And when she's at home, I take the time with her too. And if I do need, like now, we are talking and she's in vacation already. So she's or with my husband or she's watching a little video, but she comes and goes as she wants to. Yes. So she's part of everything.
Yes. And when you took off time, I'm curious, how much time did you take off? And I'm curious because I have a 12-week baby, and I'm a pianist, so it's sort of interesting me trying to kind of figure this out too. So how much time did you take off when you did?
Well, I didn't take totally off because I kept touring, but not as much as I used to. So like my normal range of touring the world is like 3-4 times a year. Used to be before Sophia came. And when she came, I was doing once or twice a year, very short amounts. But actually, until she was 9 months old, she went with me all over. Her passport is full of stamps. When she was 3 months old, my husband and I, we went with her to Australia, and then she went to Hawaii, Greece, Europe, United States, until she was 9. Till when I stopped breastfeeding her, that is when I stopped to travel so much, because then I wouldn't travel with her because it's too hard, and I didn't want to be far from her. So, but now that she's 5, she's completing 6 this Saturday now.
Oh,
before I travel to America, and now her mama's wings is growing again. I'm going back to those 4 or 5 times a year traveling because she can handle it, and I have wonderful husband,
Uh-huh.
which really loves to take care of her, and he works at the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I know she is with her dad.
Right.
So that makes me more comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's great, and that's
But
amazing.
it took me 3 years to really, 3 or 4 years to really get back in gear.
And that sounds, and it's just amazing that you were able to kind of do that. And now that you're back in full gear, you really are very busy. I know that you're touring a lot, and now you're coming to the U.S. and you just released a new CD. Can you tell us a little bit about Between Love and Luck?
Yeah. So when I told you Sophia was born and I stepped on the brake. Is that right? Right English?
Sure, yeah.
But anyway, I moved with my husband to the countryside because we didn't want to be in São Paulo. São Paulo was too much. It is chaotic town as hell. Mm-hmm. So we didn't want to be in that environment. So we moved to the countryside. And interesting enough, what happened there, I found silence. Mm-hmm. And with that silence, I felt connection with so much inspiration that Sophia's birth brought me. So I composed something around 150 songs in less than 2 years.
Wow.
Part of those songs are going to become a project for kids, which I'm going to record in October. Mm-hmm. And some of the other material are in the CD that I released first in Brazil, and now I'm releasing in America, and in September I'm going to release in Europe as well. Mm-hmm. So Between Love and Luck, there are 12 songs that I composed, and I wrote the lyrics, and I translated to English as well. Uh-huh. There is only one partnership with a great guy from Rio de Janeiro. His name is Pedro Luis, mm-hmm. and we created one song together. So it's a very powerful moment to come back, because for so long I don't release a CD with 100% on material. And also I'm releasing through my own label. So it's a very powering moment of taking care of all of this.
Well, and it sounds very personal, and how wonderful to be able to tour with that now. We're thrilled to be able to hear this music live and to hear that kind of personal story that you have to bring to that. That's wonderful.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, we're very, very excited, and I think we can wrap these things up, but I can't wait to see you. It's just a few weeks away now. We're about to start the festival. It starts a week before you get here, so we're about to start next week, and just cannot wait until you're here and in Austin, and I know that our audiences just can't wait either.
Yeah, so I created this band in America, mm-hmm. and they are great musicians. They travel with me. They're going to travel with me. And it's awesome because they also have so many, how to say, there is a joke I say in Portuguese. I wouldn't make sense in English, I'm sorry, but I call them my octopus because they also play so many instruments, the multi-instrumentalists. So it's fun to see, because we can recreate the songs from the CD just being three of us.
That's amazing. That's wonderful, because I know that you'll be three people on stage, but maybe it could be 8, 9, or 10 of talents. So that's great.
And of course, there is a moment I am by myself, mm-hmm. because the solo, it's part of who I am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, great. Well, we cannot wait to have you here. So we will see you very soon.
I'll bring older songs.
Oh, you'll bring some older songs too as well. That's great, because I know people will love to hear that as well. Wonderful, yeah. Wonderful. Well, I think we're breaking up a little bit, so we better not test our luck anymore. Let's say it's the end to the conversation, but I can't wait to see you in a few weeks. Safe travels to you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and you have a wonderful day. I know
Thank you.
It'll be a cold day there, but a hot day here, so we'll meet somewhere soon. All right, take care.
Today.
Uh-huh. All right, take care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.